So I figured out why my iron farm isn't working so well. At least one reason. Go through here. There's an iron golem right here. Which means they're not spawning new golems because they think they already have a protector. So I'm sorry, but he's gonna have to die. He's dead. Now I just have to fill this in. Thank everybody for being here. Let's get started with episode 7. Okay, I want to make a lot of progress in this episode on the castle, but in order to do that, we need a lot of resources, so we are going to do that real quick. Might also make a farm, but I'll explain that in a bit. Let's go get some blocks. Well, that was the most productive I've been in my entire life. Seriously though, we got tons of resources. We got a little over 3 double chests of stone. Here's where all the other stuff from the giant hole we dug went. I'm sure we'll use the andesite, but I'm not sure about the other stuff. That one's empty. This one has 8 hay bales, which I think I might use for the floor of the dungeon type area. We also got a full double chest of endstone. We got half sand in this chest, half sandstone in this chest, which will come in very handy. But let's talk about this hole over here. So as you guys know, I talked about maybe making a farm. And this area is a 16 by 16 block area, which is known as a chunk in Minecraft. This particular chunk is a slime chunk. As you can see down there, those are slimes. At layer 40 or below, they'll spawn in slime chunks. So at some point, we are going to turn this into a slime farm. Also, while we were looking for a desert to get all the sand we got, I found a jungle, and now we have boon. Not bamboo, bamboo. There we go. And that means we can craft scaffolding, which will come in very handy when building the castle. We also got a parrot from the jungle. So I'm working on the front of the castle, specifically the staircase into the entrance right now. And it's times like these where I remember how much that I am not a builder. Oh, I'm struggling. I think maybe I'll replace these with waterfalls. Maybe that'll add a little bit of color. I don't know, I just don't think it looks good right now. Hopefully it will in the end. Okay, I've been at this for hours now, and I switched to a creative world. I copied the world file and put myself in creative just so I can mess around and try to play with blocks, see what I like. And I finally came up with something. Not sure if I'm convinced 100%, but I think it's enough to get started. I came up with this. I really like the design. A lot of the castles I saw online had these steep roofs or the really flat roofs with the stereotypical castle like bump shapes. And I think it'd be cool to use a mixture of the both. Some of them did have both, but I mostly saw either one or the other. But I think I want to do both of them. I really struggled with this staircase, but I think it looks alright now. I'm going to try to vary up the blocks more to make it look more visually appealing. There's lots of things I love about this. There's lots of things I don't particularly like. I have these trapdoors on the side right here, which I think it looks nicer than it does without them, but I'm not entirely sold on the trapdoors, but I don't know what to replace those with. We also have anvils on the side for detailing. It adds more depth, and I don't know, it just looks nice. What I've realized is this build is going to require a lot of iron, as well as a lot of other materials we don't have yet, like the roof. I think this dark prismarine looks really nice for it, but that means we will probably have to make a guardian for him, because we just won't be able to do this without that. So maybe we'll do that soon, just so we can work on the roof. I also added this hole right here, which I think looks nice, but also wanted a nice entrance into the castle from the top, so I could just fly in and probably run into that wall and die. Just knowing my luck, that would happen. I haven't done any other work on the castle. I spent a lot of time trying to figure just this entrance out, but I think I got it to where I like it. And I think with this kind of template made, I can much more easily construct the rest of the castle because I kind of know what I'm doing now. I think now it's just time to start building this in survival. Oh my goodness, guys. Ah! I'm back in the survival world, and this is very overwhelming. Because I need to construct that huge thing. Oof. Let's just get going. Okay, a little bit of an update here. I've worked on the door. I'm already tired of it. This was so much easier and creative. Still so much to do. But it's okay. I chose this project. The burden rests with me. We will do this. We will prevail. Man, I am tongue-tied a lot in this episode. We will prevail. Well, we did it. We have constructed... Dang it. Fell again. We have constructed the castle up to the point that we haven't created, except for the roof and the variations in the stonework to add more detail. But it is done. I think the hardest part was the staircase. Not like... Once we had it designed, it was pretty easy. But just building it, it was hard because I kept falling down. But once we had this and kind of the groundwork placed, it was a lot easier to go up and build this front side. Okay, now we're going to vary what stone types we used. Right now, we just have stone bricks, and that's boring. So, I'm just going to show you guys on this floor what I'm going to do. I'll pick really just a random block, break it, and replace it with one of the other random stone that I have in my inventory. And if you do that enough, you start to get really cool textures that start to emerge. Yeah, the important thing is you have to commit to it. If I just use these three, it's not going to look as good. So I need to break and place a bunch all over the place. Just trying to keep it random, evenly spread out. Then, of course, I'll do this for the slabs and the steps. But the more we do this, hopefully, the better it'll start to look. So, look at it now. I think it's already looking better because they have a lot of variation. Right here, I think not enough variation right there. We'll add another piece of andesite. Maybe right here. I don't know. It's just something you have to kind of play with and mess with. Not the best at it, but I think in the end it looks pretty good. And now we're just applying that same process to the rest of the castle. I worked my way up from the bottom to the top. Now, admittedly, I did forget the little entrance area right in front of the entrance doors. At least the floor for that section. But we'll do that later. Now, if we compare the before and after picture, you don't have to agree with me, but I personally think it looks a lot better when you add the variation. It's much more visually appealing and interesting to look at, as opposed to not. Well, now that that's done, I want to work on the slime farm. You remember that hole we dug earlier? Yep, this one. We are going to add layers to it for slimes to spawn on. And as I said earlier, slimes spawn at layer 40 or less, so we added little markers at certain points below that, and we're going to turn them into platforms that fill this entire area. Started working on layer 1, and I'm already out of blocks. Let's go smelt some more. Smelting blocks. Yay! We got smooth stone. Turn them into slabs. Done with layer 1. I forgot to mention layer 2, but we're done with layer 2 and 3. Well, I was going to light up all the platforms at the end, but I have a mob problem, so I'll just explain why I'm lighting them up now. Any mob can spawn on these platforms if they're dark, but slimes can spawn at any light level, so if we light up the platforms, only slimes will spawn, which is what makes this farm effective. But I had a little creeper accident down here because of all these mobs that are spawning. So I'm going to light up the layers under here. I think another creeper just blew up. I'm going to light up this area. And then I'm going to do the rest of the layers and light them up as I go. So I don't have that issue. I think this is layer 4. Don't quite remember. Halfway through layer 5 and I ran out of blocks. That's layer 5, 6, 7. So we finished all 8 or so layers. And we dug out a chute all the way to the bottom. We'll dig another one on the other side. But this is important because the slimes will jump all the way off and land at the bottom here where they will land on magma blocks and die. All their stuff will be funneled to the center where it'll be collected. Like that. Well, I finished everything on the slime farm except for the collection system. Everything funnels to this point right here, but there are no hoppers. I'll put some eventually, but the bedrock here is a problem, so I will have to remove it Well, I probably should have done this before building this part. But here goes nothing. We're going to try to break the bedrock under this piston. And then repair things afterward. Anywho. No, no, no. Dang it. Ooh. Apparently our explosion yielded unexpected results. We just found a lot of diamonds. And redstone. Okay, round 3. Nope, nope. Oh, that's promising. Yes. Okay. It only took like 7 tries, but we got rid of it. Now for this one. Yes, 2 in a row. Oh, well, I've cleaned up my mess and added a little bit of a collection system, so at least we'll be collecting slime balls when they come through. If you're still watching by now, thank you. I appreciate it. But there's just one more thing I want to do before we end the episode. Just need some of this. And we need this. And we need this. Let me just put this here. And we have our Dragon Conqueror. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day.